Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. We've already got precip sneaking in beneath this western ridge. Finally, good to see this. There's radar. You can see it coming in. BC and the Pacific Northwest. And all of this today, tonight, tomorrow will move across the Pacific Northwest through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and potentially brushing the northern aspects of Colorado. But this is a little sneaker, just the first signs that we're going to be able to break down this high and sort of suppress it to the south. There's a bigger storm behind this that I'll show you coming up. But I'm looking at all this, and I'm also looking at the northeast. There's been so much back and forth on this. It's just been wild to kind of watch this storm. It develops one day stronger, then it's weak, then it's strong, then it's weak. Well, right now it's looking more and more. It's trending much weaker and looking like it's going to be an open wave that kind of sails across the northeast with only light snow accumulations. But there's a second storm system behind it for like the 27th and 28th that could end up being stronger. It looks like it might be a little better organized. So we'll look at that coming up. We'll also look at the western ridge because it's going to break down. This first storm I showed you is helping. The second one behind it, there's a storm behind it that's much bigger, and that will take us into a more active period after the 24th for the west. So let me just show you what this looks like right now on infrared satellite. So notice the high, and here comes the first of two lows that will break that down. The second low is going to be stronger and bring more widespread snow to more of the west after the 24th. And both of these will become energy for the east coast and the northeast. So everything kind of starts in the west and ends up in the northeast down the road. So I wrote about this on my blog this morning, christomer.com. Please subscribe. If you haven't, you'll get notified in your email box whenever there's an update, and I update this like every day. So there are my bullet points talking about how the first storm on the 25th, 26th for the northeast is looking weaker and weaker. Look at the current setup. So let's look at the northeast. I've got these loaded in to my show here. So we'll go first. This is the 26th jet pattern late in the day. So, whatever was there on the 25th, 26th is already moving through the northeast, and there's barely any sign of it. It's kind of an open wave racing through. But you see the second storm right here in the heartland. This one will will take a track and trajectory right into the northeast and could be a stronger storm system. That's a possibility for the 27th, 28th, 29th, somewhere right in there. And so all of this will affect snow amounts. Here are my numbers, all of today through the 28th. So it only goes through the 28th. So if something happens on the 29th or it continues to snow, it's not captured here. But let's just say the first storm comes through on the 25, 26 time frame, drops 1 to 3 inches. Second storm comes through with maybe another 1 to 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, something like that, very late in the period, 27, 28. So you end up with something like this, a far cry from what could have been with a much stronger storm, but this is what I'm expecting right now. So let's go back to the blog and look at the west. So the western ridge will break down. You can see the jet pattern right there. I've got that loaded in. Let me just show you what it looks like. All right, so here it is on the 29th. High pressure's gone. So you've got two lows sliding through a very large trough across the west. So the trough has replaced the high. This pattern would support widespread snow and colder temperatures and good orographics as well, and potentially a good setup for California late in the period. So that's also something I'm watching. California could benefit late in the period. So that's the view on the 29th. All right, let's go back and talk some timing on this. So here is my blog again, and I do have a whole section on timing. Let me just show you what it looks like full screen. All right, so future radar satellite by Wednesday morning. There comes that low, that sneaking kind of snow that blows through the Intermountain West, and it kind of looks like it goes down through Colorado. And then on Saturday, here comes a larger change. Look at this snow coming in. This is part of that bigger change after the 24th. I'll show you everything once again. We'll run this through. There it comes. So right there on the 24th in the morning, that looks like that low slides through, or that front slides through Colorado. And then everything turns much more active after that with the sort of west to east pattern settling in with a big trough across the west. I like this. I like this pattern here after the 24th, especially late in the period. So that is something to watch. All right, let's talk about snow numbers here. Here's what I'm thinking as far as numbers. All of today through the 24th. So you're looking at basically a northwest type of flow. Everything's sort of dropping down out of the northwest. So you've got light amounts of snow, 1 to 5 inches for most places in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. It brushes the Wasatch barely and into Colorado. And this is kind of a new little trend here. For a long time, it looked like this wave was going to miss Colorado. The central to northern mountains could benefit with 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow. I'm not as confident about that situation, about that scenario. I'd like to see a little more data later today, tomorrow morning, to see whether that's still a possibility or not. We'll see. But let me just show you the second period here. So this seems to be more of a likelihood. I mean, overall, this pattern change here for the 25th through the 30th. There's some big numbers on this. I mean, look at California. If we can get a couple different storm systems to track through there, a strong jet stream west to east with orographics, that's a possibility. Good numbers through the Tetons, the Wasatch, that excites me. Idaho's looking good. Schweitzer down to Brundage and Sun Valley, big skies there. Colorado would be in position to get snow late in the period as well, probably 4 to 10 inches. Pacific Northwest is looking good, so this would be a colder, snowier pattern down the road. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Take care.